Hello, I'm Kim Kashkashian, and I play this instrument, the viola. And I'm now going to help understand the Bartok Concerto.
And hello, my name is Javi, and I'm going to play the first movement of Bartok Viola Concerto.
Okay. Do you want to play straight through, Javi?
Okay.
You can say no.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's
Yes?
fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'll go listen.
Okay.
You know what, Javi? Let's stop. I changed my mind.
Okay.
We'll do first themes, all that material, and then we'll do second theme and go on.
Okay.
Okay? So to begin, we need to define what is this, besides being a sixth. It is one step, not two. Not that, but one step. So that's the thesis. Yeah? So maybe even play. So you're really holding the idea of it being what happens between the notes that matters the most.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. So when we plan to take a step, what's the first thing we have to do? No, not with the instrument, just with life.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Okay, I want to take a step.
Yeah.
What do I have to do first?
Like.
Yes, you have to uncommit to one leg.
Yeah.
You have to say, this is it. Tayam. And the action is lift, go. And the weight is not immediate. Tayam. So it's the same thing. You can say, lift. It's exactly the same. Maybe use your foot as if you were going to take a walk. So then you don't get stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Beautiful. That had a lot of meaning in the sound. You felt it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So our job is to take real life and transform that idea, that action, into what we do with this funny looking thing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now do that again just to be more secure in it. Prepare step. Prepare step. That's so beautiful. Now see if you can do the same thing without actually taking the step. It was good. It wasn't quite as magical, was it?
No.
Yeah. I would take that. That had content. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the lesson here is about preparation and uncommitting in order to commit fully. If you're what we call in Tai Chi double-weighted, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck. You have to uncommit in order to take an action. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But remember, it's one step.
Yeah.
Now, good. And then we're completing the circle. Good.
Same.
Same, yes. Yes, but kind of the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But yes, the same. So we have 2, 3. We're back where we started. Maybe even lower. We're going to try. That's the release point. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, try it. Were you happy with that? Were you happy with that?
No.
Me either. Do you know why?
What?
What point was not good?
I made an accent.
Yes, that's
Also
right,
good.
you did, but that was because this had nothing to it. You were just
Yeah.
dead man, instead of It's not about crescendo, it's about energy, adding. There. You can relax. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Right, okay. A couple of comments. It's very good now, the opening circle. This has tension. Smaller. Even smaller. So don't lose track of the as being a point of tension. Release. Now, it's very important here that we start to feel the verticality in every slur. And if you want to do that slide, okay. I would say that you also want to speak or express every other one of those notes.
Okay.
So that's your arrival. But, so there's some resistance. I don't love how you do this because it seems to rush only in one place. So I think it should be more steady. And this is, I believe, had we had an F string, he would have kept going with that pentatonic. Da, da, da. Yeah, so imagine it that way. It's not really an ending, it's just going up into the air.
Okay.
Because he ran out of strings.
Okay. From
Good. Good. Torre. Better. Yeah, I keep the tension. Every time.
okay.
You want to keep the tension. This was good. I still think doing that once, I don't love because it sticks out in a funny way that doesn't make sense to me. What you might want to try, I'm trying to go with your idea. I believe more in using the bow. But if you want to change fingers, maybe back and forth. Actually, that's very typical of that region, to continue to change fingers. You want to try that? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that I would buy rather than doing one big slide.
Okay.
Yeah, because this way you're building up impetus and potential. And then this makes sense. There's a reason for that then. Yeah.
Okay.
One last thing. Don't stop.
Okay.
Whatever fingering you do, you're tipping over. You don't want to hang on the top of the cliff and then jump over. Okay. It's one. Yeah. Okay. Just do that and we'll go on.
Sorry.
Relax, relax. Good. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, now the same thing holds true here. So we want shaping in the bow. And now we're doing something that Sándor Vég calls reflections. And what he meant was the reflections that come when you throw a pebble in the water and it has ripples. That the bow has reflections. This is part of moving the bow in the horizontal. Thank you. Okay, try that. Okay, not always. So that's a real slur.
Okay.
These are all slurs.
Okay.
It's all very, very good. You could think about the nature of maybe being a little more impulsive or windy. Yeah, sorry. And now we're going to show something slowly. Okay, so this, every time, not just the F sharp. G, F, G, F sharp, G, F sharp. Okay.
Like how can wiggle the finger like.
Oh, I don't know.